His eyes looked up high, with a head as big as that of an elephant and lips resembling those of a buffalo. He greeted us saying,
Han Meditations. Hello guys, I am Han. This is Kelly.
Hello guys.
We are Han Meditations. We're back with another interesting video. So find somewhere comfortable to sit and watch, and let's get right into it together.
One day, while in the company of the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, we were gathered at the house of a family, forming a complete group. Someone knocked on the door and requested permission to enter, mentioning that they had a request and a matter to discuss. At that moment, all eyes turned towards the face of the prophet, who was always the center of attention. From him emanated the authorization. The prophet understood the context and asked us if we knew who the requester was. We all responded at the same time. Allah and his prophet know best. The prophet declared, "It is the fool, the adversary of Allah, the devil, upon whom the curse of Allah falls." Omar, without delay, exclaimed, "O Messenger of Allah, let me finish him off." However, the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, did not give him permission and responded, "Wait, Omar. Do you not remember that he has a deadline until a certain date? Abandon the idea of killing him." Then he said, "Open the door for him. He has come by mandate. Try to understand his words. Listen carefully to what he is going to reveal." When the door was opened, he entered, appearing before us as a bald old man, with 6 or 7 hairs hanging from his beard, resembling those of a horse. His eyes looked up high, with a head as big as that of an elephant and lips resembling those of a buffalo. He greeted us saying, "Greetings to you, O Muhammad. Greetings to you, congregation of Muslims." Upon this greeting, the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, responded, "Greetings are for Allah. Be cursed." Then he asked, "What have you come for?" The devil explained, "It was not of my own will. I have been forced to come here." Intrigued, the prophet inquired about who had forced him. The devil recounted that an angel from his exalted Lord had appeared to him and ordered him, "Allah the Most High commands you to present yourself before Muhammad in a state of humility and sincerity, to reveal how you have deceived the sons of Adam, to tell the whole truth, and to answer honestly. Allah has decreed, if you lie, if you do not speak the truth, I will turn you into ashes. I will scatter you like the wind before your enemies. You will become their mockery. Therefore, O Muhammad, I have been commanded to come to you. Ask whatever questions you wish. If I do not respond adequately, I will be the subject of ridicule among my enemies. There is no greater shame than being ridiculed by enemies." The prophet then asked the following question, "Tell me, since you are going to be truthful, who is the person you hate the most?" The devil replied, "You, O Muhammad. Of all Allah's creatures, no one do I hate more than you." Then the prophet inquired, "And who is the next whom you hate and have animosity towards?" The devil responded, "To a devout young man who has dedicated his entire life to obeying the voice of Allah." Continuing, the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, asked another question, and the devil responded, "And then, whom do you not tolerate?" He replied, "A poor and patient man who never discloses his needs nor complains." The prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, interrogated, "How do you then know he is patient?" The devil explained, "O Muhammad, he does not share his needs with anyone, and whoever exposes them to others for 3 consecutive days is not considered patient by Allah. Indeed, I can discern his patience by his situation, his behavior, and his reluctance to complain." The prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, continued, "And then, whom else?" The devil replied, "One who is rich and gives thanks." The prophet inquired, "How do you recognize he is grateful?" The devil explained, "I notice it when I observe how he invests his wealth with honesty and distributes it properly. Then I understand that he is a grateful rich man." Then the prophet changed the subject and asked, "What do you feel when my community stands up to pray?" The devil responded, "O Muhammad, I shudder as if I were suffering from malaria. I tremble. The prophet asked, "Why does it affect you in that way?" The devil explained, "Because every time a servant bows before Allah, he is elevated 1 degree." The prophet continued, "And what do you feel when they fast?" The devil affirmed, "During that time, I am chained until they break the fast." Then he asked, "And your sensation during the pilgrimage?" The devil declared, "There I literally lose my head." The prophet inquired, "And what happens when they recite the Quran?" The devil admitted, "At that moment, I melt as if I were lead melted by fire." Finally, the prophet inquired, "And your feelings when they give charity?" The devil recounted, "At those moments, my condition becomes extremely difficult. It is as if someone were sawing me in two." The prophet questioned, "Why do you feel split like that?" The devil responded, "Allow me to explain." And he began to relate, "Because charity brings 4 benefits. Allah the Most High grants blessings to the donor. Charity makes the individual beloved by his community. Allah the Most High establishes a veil between that person and hellfire, and Allah the Most High delivers him from trials, adversities, and afflictions." After this, the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, inquired about his companions. "What do you think of Abu Bakr?" The devil replied, "He never followed me, not even in the time of ignorance. How could he follow me after his conversion to Islam?" The prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, asked, "And what do you say about Umar ibn al-Khattab?" The devil answered, "I assure you by Allah that every time I saw him, I would run away." The prophet then asked, "And about Uthman ibn Affan?" The devil responded, "I am ashamed in front of him. Even the compassionate angels feel ashamed of him." Continuing, the prophet asked, "What about Ali ibn Abi Talib?" The devil expressed, "Ah, how I wish I could avoid him. If I could separate myself from him, if he would leave me alone, I would leave him alone. But he does not cease to pursue me." The prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, concluded, "Praise be to Allah, who has granted happiness to my community and has kept you in defiance until a predetermined time." Upon hearing this, the devil exclaimed, "Woe is me! Where is the happiness of the community while I am alive? Until that predetermined time, how can you feel secure for your community? I penetrate their veins, I merge with their flesh, and yet they do not perceive my presence nor know it. By Allah, who has created me and granted me respite until the day of judgment, I will mislead them all, the ignorant and the wise, the illiterate and the literate, the wicked and the virtuous. In short, none of them can escape me. However, the truly devout servants of Allah, no, I cannot mislead them." The prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, then asked, "According to you, who are those sincere and devout servants?" The devil explained, "Do you not know, O Muhammad, that whoever loves their wealth of gold and silver does not possess sincerity towards Allah? When I see someone who is not attached to either money or praise, then I recognize their sincerity and leave them alone. A person who worships their wealth and seeks praise remains attached to their worldly desires as long as their love for these things persists, and they are among those who follow me the most." The devil further explained that he has 70,000 offspring, each with a specific task, and each offspring in turn commands 70,000 demons. Different demons are assigned to different groups, some to the wise, others to the young, and others to the elderly. Regarding the young, he mentioned that they relate well to them, and with the children, they play at their whim.
Whoa. Wow. So one of the things I want to talk about is one of the last things that he said. He said someone who isn't attached to money or praise is left alone by the demons, by the shaitans. Because a lot of times people do things, excuse my voice, guys, but a lot of times people do things so that they get praise, so that they can love, have the love of money, so that they can be attracted to this wealth, attracted to this praise. They want people to praise them. They want to do things so that they can fit in. Sometimes you need to fit out. Sometimes you don't need to fit in. You need to fit out. Sometimes you don't need to worry about the praise of another human being, another praise of a mortal being. You need to worry about the praise of God, the praise of the Most High. That's all that matters. Absolutely. And I just think the whole concept is so interesting, being forced in a sense to come to earth to talk to the Prophet Muhammad so that he can learn more about the shaitans and how they operate so that we could get this information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really interesting. I really wonder if this is like in the Quran, if it's from a hadith. I've never heard of this actual conversation taking place. It's very, very fascinating. It really reminds me of a book. I know I brought it up quite a few times, Outwitting the Devil, which it's set in the same type of thing. And it's still, no one really knows because it was published after the author's death, Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich. But it's set in a conversational, written in the same way where he's just literally just asking questions. And for whatever reason, the devil has to answer truthfully. And no one knows if this is something that actually took place, if this is just how he decided to write it. But it's very, very interesting, and it says a lot of the same things, and it's really all like within our own psyche. So that's why I really think it's cool how in Islam it says that the shaitan is within the blood of people and within the veins. And that book pretty much said like the ego is what the devil essentially is. But I personally like how it said that, you can know by how grateful someone is for their money by how they spend and distribute it. And it's a simple sentence, but it actually does make sense when you think about it, because you show your gratitude by your actions with it. If you're not hoarding it or spending selfishly, etc. And I also like how it said every time someone bows in prayer, they are elevated by 1 degree, because I think some people think like, oh, why do you have to bow down for your praying to Allah and all that? But we don't understand why things are the way they are in this physical realm. Only God does. But you are actually elevated every time you get in that prostrate position and bow your head. So that is very fascinating. But this video was so, so cool. I loved it. So fascinating. So thank you. I believe this was a recommendation. So thank you so much. And let us know what you guys thought, as always, if there's any other cool videos like this. And thank you so much, everyone, for liking, watching, sharing, for donations. Of course, we love you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.